Welcome, welcome, bloody welcome, and thank you for tuning in yet again to the show, which is called
Sunday Chat.
Indeed it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
That's all right.
There was a noise. There was a noise
Up
going
the road.
on, but it's stopped now, Paul.
There's a bit of drilling going on as
I don't
well.
know what's going on, but there's lots of work happening in the streets at the moment.
There is, yeah.
Pipes being dug up.
Water meters being put in.
Oh, are they water meters being
Well,
put in?
they're being checked, I think, as well. But when I went up the road the other day to Lidl, it's only like a 5-minute walk, and I had to cross the road 4 times because each side of the road was closed at certain points. Each side of the pavement was closed at certain points. And it was really, very inconvenient.
Did you perhaps think you couldn't go on? No, yeah, lots of work going on in the streets, lots of random noise at the moment. Things happening. Oh, I hope the sun doesn't decide to come out. It'll bleach us.
It is going to come out.
I have to control the light, I'm sorry. Can't be having that. That's better. That's better.
Are you sure that's better?
No, I am. Look at us.
No, I am.
Well, do we look okay?
Yeah, I suppose so. I've got my lovely halo around me. Yeah. So that's all right.
Let's get on with the show, Paul.
Yeah.
So welcome, and thank you for following us on all of our platforms across social media. Instagram, X.
No, we're not really doing X.
No.
I think it's just so...
Anyway,
Yeah.
Facebook and our Facebook group, Planet Vegetarian. I have to say it's a very lively Facebook group
It
at
is.
the moment because
It is.
people are sharing.
And caring.
Well, shush now, Paul, I hadn't finished.
Oh, right, okay.
People are sharing everything that's going on in their gardens at the moment, things that they're growing, things that they're harvesting, and it's really quite lively.
It is, and things that they are making and baking.
And it is a caring...
And cake! Cake! Oh, there's nothing like a good cake.
You've made me feel hungry. I'll just have to eat some Vivibalm in a minute. No, it really is. It's a super group. And Paul did say caring too, because it's a group, it's a private group, which means we don't put up with any oojamaflip.
Yeah, things we don't want to put up with.
No.
And people we don't want to put up with.
Everybody is very, very nice. So it's a very pleasant place to be. So join us on Planet Vegetaria, a Facebook group by Richard and Paul. Richard and Paul since 2017. That's contractual. Thank you.
Are you finished now? Are you going to mention coffee?
And coffee. I was posing, Paul. God. Don't interrupt me when I'm pulling a look.
Oh, mid-pose. God forbid that I do that. Yeah. It happens when we're sort of out at dinner with people, and he'll be doing something and being the centre of attention, and then I'll say something and I'll pull attention from him. And that's the whole evening completely destroyed from that point, isn't it? Yeah.
Anybody would think I act like a complete and utter diva, Paul. That's simply not true at all. Me,
No,
the centre of attention.
No, not an individual diva. It's more like 6 or 8 divas all rolled into one. That's what it's like. Living with Richard. That could be a new segment that we could do. Yeah. Oh, but I'll shut up now.
Well, yeah. Or you can continue to compare the show. Compare the show.
That confused me, in my slow brain. I thought,
exactly.
what am I comparing the show to?
Do you want to compare the show? Do you want to be the master of ceremonies?
No.
No, exactly.
No, I don't. No.
Chic.
I'll leave that to you. Yeah, because you do it so well. He does do it so well. Why should I elevate myself to that position when you're already elevated there, on a pedestal,
Let's open the book.
with his bouffant hair?
Well, I can't help it if my hair is bouffant today because, you know, it's windy. It's windy.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
hair can't go out without half a can of Elnet on it, I can tell you right now.
It can't.
It wouldn't move in a hurricane now, I tell you.
When I go to the plot and I'm walking outside, my hair sort of flies everywhere. It's got nothing on it. Really.
It's lacking quite a lot. So, let's get on with the show, shall we now? Please, Paul, enough of this nonsense. So, what?
Drilling.
Yes, shush. We also wanted to say thank you very, very much for all the well wishes that you've extended to us during our illness, which is almost over. I don't know whether you can hear, but I'm still blocked.
Yeah, I'm still pretty
You're
nasal.
still blocked. We're
Yeah.
still coughing.
It was a nasty virus.
It really was. It was more like a flu, I think, than anything else.
Yeah, it wasn't flu, but it was on the way to being flu.
But yes, thank you very much for all the well wishes. It was very kind of you. We weren't able to reply to every single one of them individually, so I did a sort of collective thanks on our platforms.
Oh, that's so lovely of you. Well done.
You can drop the sarcasm. You know that road only leads one way, Paul. As you can imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, now my nose is starting to run.
Oh.
Literally, it's like a long round of nose blowing, coughing. It's just ridiculous, really, isn't it?
Soup, I suppose, is actually the worst, isn't it?
What is?
A bowl of soup.
The worst in...
The worst in it makes your nose dribble. As soon as he starts eating, it's sort of like, oh, I need to blow my nose. But soup is most probably the one that sort of gets all his nasal juices flowing the quickest.
Well, it's hot food. As soon as I go near hot food, my nose starts to run.
Yeah.
It's the age, though. And this is bamboo tissue paper, which we were gifted during the pandemic.
We were, yes.
Which I thank you, whoever gave it to us. I can't remember who it was. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. I carry a roll with me wherever I go because it's super soft, super strong, and it's natural and unbleached.
There we are.
Yes.
All of the boons in one go.
All of the what? All of
Boons.
The boon. Well, it is a boon.
Yeah.
A complete boon.
Yeah.
I just need my Vivi Balm because my lips are dry.
The lips are dry.
Can't be going on camera with dry lips, can I really? It's not a very good advert for Vivi.
No, I suppose it's not.
There we are, in a jiffy, done.
In a jiffy, done with Vivi. There we are.
Doesn't quite work, Paul.
Well, we can work on
For
it.
somebody
We can
that's in
work on it.
advertising and marketing, Paul, I don't think that would work.
That's why my brain is a bit slow at the moment.
At the moment.
Yes, it's generally slow.
So, let's kick off the show with Rich and Paul's weather report. Paul, what has the weather been like this week?
It's been mixed, hasn't it? Lots of rain, lots of wind.
Well, look, let's start at the beginning of the week. Didn't start very well at all. In fact, Tuesday was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it was.
Disgusting. Grey, wet, downpours. People were just moaning left, right and centre.
Yeah. Well, you were, yeah.
No, people at work, I mean, everybody that came in said, oh my God, look at the weather, it's awful. It's like, well, this is the British summertime.
Yeah, it
Classic.
is. It is.
Because I work with quite a number of people who are quite new to this country. We've got a couple of people who have moved over from Africa. and are working as therapists in the NHS, and they're always kind of like, you know, what's going on? It's like, well, welcome to Britain, this is what it can be like, you know. And this summer is no different, really, Paul.
Well, I don't know. We've had this summer is pretty normal for the UK, I think. We've had abnormal summers over the past 5 years, something like that, where we've had real drought conditions.
Yeah.
But this year we certainly not had that. No. And it's been sort of quite cold at night. Though it is warming up a little bit again, which is good.
Well, it did warm up yesterday and the day before, Thursday and Friday, because today is Saturday afternoon. Thursday and Friday were lovely. I mean, I was doing a bit around the house and I was getting quite warm quite quickly.
You did some gardening as well.
Did a little bit of... Did I do gardening?
Yeah, you did 2 hours of gardening on Wednesday evening, didn't you? I think you did, yes you did.
Was it Wednesday or was it... No, it can't have been Tuesday because Tuesday was raining. So yeah...
And Tuesday we have viewings and things, so it wasn't Tuesday, it was Wednesday.
It's Monday evening
that
I did some gardening.
Yeah. I'm glad we pinpointed that. We couldn't have gone on otherwise.
No,
So, and today is lots of cloud, but when the cloud clears, it's blue sky and sunny,
naturally.
but really, really windy. And we were watching an episode of Murder, She Wrote only about half an hour ago, and a really strong gust of wind came through, didn't it? There we are.
So there's the weather.
That's
for
what
you.
it is.
There
And
we
what's
go.
next week going to be?
Same again.
Yeah, I think so.
Mixed bag, although I do believe, again, it's getting warmer towards the end of the week.
There we are. So we're going through that sort of, period. It's great for beans. Beans are growing really well.
The beans at the moment, Paul, I do have to say, let me take this opportunity, the beans are delicious. Because you're picking them early.
There we are.
You're picking them young and fresh.
But what I have noticed is that the Golden Gate are quite tough and bitter this year.
Which
Don't know why.
Gates?
The yellow ones, the yellow flat
the ones we had the other day were delicious.
Those were the round ones. The flat ones are sort of a bit more challenging.
I don't want them.
He doesn't want them.
Don't feed them to
I
me.
don't
I
want
will
them.
not eat them if they're stringy.
We are going to have them
Harvest them as a bean.
demi-sec beans. So we're going to harvest them when they are sort of still wet, not dry, and then we're going to freeze the bean rather than the bean pod.
Well, we had some the other day, lightly steamed.
Those were rock and core.
Cold.
Yeah.
And they were lovely, they were crunchy. It was like a little bean salad. Except it wasn't a bean salad, was it? Because it had nothing with it.
Well, no, but it was a bean salad. It was a rock and core. It was a beurre de rock and core salad.
Well, it wasn't.
Well, it was, because...
It was just beans.
And it had nice dressing on it as well.
Oh, did it have a dressing on it?
Yes, of course it had a dressing on it.
Did it?
Yes, they don't
I
taste
can't
like that. They
remember
have
the
a dressing. It was just a bit of salt and a bit of olive oil and a tiny bit of vinegar.
Well, it was delicious. Shame about the potato salad that you made.
Yeah, I made a potato salad that didn't age well.
You overcooked the potatoes.
I did the potatoes in the microwave, so I baked them. And then I made the potato salad, and that was really lovely when we had it.
Don't bake them.
We had some more the next day. We had, there was 2 portions left over, and they were a bit woolly.
They were woolly.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
So Richard couldn't eat them, so he sent them to the compost bin. So that's where they are. Yeah. The Madeira maroon, which we also harvest as a flat green bean, they're really good at the moment as well. They are particularly loving this year. Loving this year. They're particularly
they're loving this year.
They are particularly loving this year.
I thought you were saying they're particularly loving.
No. What I was saying was sort of in English.
They're loving the weather this year.
Yes, they are.
Well, you missed out the weather.
I didn't need to say that because anyone with any sense would have known. Well, that's what I'm saying. Anyone with any sense would have known. Lacking. There we are. That's all I say. And the our runners, we will just keep our runners for
beans.
Chili. Yeah.
For beans.
That's what we'll do.
For dried beans.
Yes. So the Rock and Corn and Madeira Maroon this year are particularly fabulous. And I've already marked up the plants of Rock and Corn that I'm going to save seeds from. Yeah.
Lovely. See, I know all these things, Paul. I know what you're going to say. Blah, 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 saving seed.
That's why you're the compare.
Anywho, Heist update. More viewings.
Yeah.
No offers. And we had a meeting with the estate agent the other day, and we have decided to drop the price.
Yeah.
To lower the price. So we're not going to discuss what the price is. I think that would be terribly gauche to do that.
Would
here,
it?
frankly.
Oh.
But
right.
yes, I think so. Not talking figures.
But you can look on Rightmove. So,
We really, Paul.
Yes, really.
I don't want absolutely everybody knowing our business, really.
Well, we shouldn't do Sunday chat then.
But anyway, we've dropped the price to reflect the market at the moment, which all the prices are coming down.
Yeah.
Because they have to.
Yeah, because the Conservative Party is absolutely
Yeah.
useless at governing the country and has basically ruined it for all of the British people that live here.
Yeah.
And all of the people who want to come and live here as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
there we are.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh dear.
So yeah, more viewings.
There was a viewing by a couple with their dog today.
Yeah, we did insist that the dog was lifted off
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah, it was a very sweet dog, wasn't it? It was sort of like very. What were they? It's
It
sort
was
of
a
like
little
very.
hairy for my
It
liking,
was quite cute and had little legs.
with lots of hair.
Yeah, it did have lots of hair. Yeah, it looked very tired.
I only want short-haired animals. Well, apart from you. No, I don't. I can't. No. At this stage in my life, if I were to have an
Oh,
animal,
kite! Oh, there were two kites. Oh,
yeah, shush now, Paul. I couldn't cope with pet hair now. I mean, it was bad enough having short-haired cats.
yeah. There were sort of dust bunnies.
Yeah.
Every single hour with the cats. Because they were so clean, you know, and they're constantly washing, and that's pulling hair out, and then they sort of cough up a fur ball, and yeah, they were gorgeous.
Also
weren't they?
constantly up and down the stairs.
Oh, and they were
running
being
around.
stroked by us constantly as well, so that releases hair as
So
well.
long-haired animals, I don't think so. No.
They do look quite good, the doggies. They do look quite good when they're long-haired at crofts and they're
Shave them.
bouncing round.
Shave them.
No, I don't like shaved dogs.
Well, they're not coming in my
No,
house
I don't
unless they've been shaved.
You didn't insist on that one being shaved today.
Well,
Just carried.
I didn't have my clippers with me at the moment. So, Paul, let's move
dear.
on.
Yeah,
Let's move
yeah.
on. So, Paul, how was the working week? Did you actually do any work this week?
I did do work this week, yeah.
Did you?
Did quite a lot for our sake. I mean, for our sake is my main client. Do have two other clients, but they're very quiet at the moment, not doing a lot. And it's mainly just making sure that their company accounts are being filed, confirmation statements, things like that at the moment. So that's fine. But we've got a new autumn equinox Greek dinner happening at the Great Green Barn, which for our sake is presenting. So we put that on sale. It's not on sale to the sort of full general public at the moment. It's just on sale to the mailing list for our sake. So that's doing quite well. That's going to be on the 23rd of September, which is autumn equinox. So yeah, that's quite fun. So that's doing well. And there's quite a lot of work going on behind the scenes at For Our Sake, and also Great Green Barn CIC, which is a new company, with things that need to be set up and put in place, and licenses and lots of things like that. So it's quite busy behind the scenes at the moment for that. Yeah.
Good.
And I did actually set down the other day some notes in my notebook about something that is formulating in my head for a story. So that is doing, because I felt quite in limbo with a lot of things at the moment, but we'll come on to that in a minute.
Well, I mean, we may as well talk about it now. I mean, let's get it over with.
I was going to ask how your working week had been, Richard.
My working week was fine. I did an extra afternoon, but I opted to not work on Thursday and Friday because I'm given the option to do extra hours every week because we don't have a second half of my job. So I may do extra this week. I may do Thursday and Friday this week. But we need to make sure the estate agent knows to not do any viewings.
Yeah, we've got 2 more viewings. One
on
viewing,
Saturday.
2 on Saturday of next week.
Yeah.
So I'll let them know that viewing's only on Saturday.
Only on Saturday.
I'll do that. Yeah, I'll drop an email.
Yeah, my working week was fine. It was fine. I felt incredibly tired. I nearly shouted at somebody on the phone. I did. I nearly lost my rag with somebody on the phone. I didn't. I checked myself.
Because you're very professional.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't be shouting at people.
No, but you
they
can
were
feel like it.
incredibly rude to me. And for no reason, just because they were going through some shit. And that's what you have to do. You have to immediately check yourself and understand that this is not somebody being personal. They're letting out their frustrations on you for whatever reason. And, believe me when I say there are lots of people who are frustrated with waiting times for both the NHS and social care.
And of course, sorry to cut in, that's all down to underfunding by the Conservative Party of these services that are essential over the past 13 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So people do get frustrated that things don't happen as quickly as they could do. And there are also other departments involved in social care. It's not just a set of social workers. You've got other departments like, for example, occupational therapy, various departments who all have massive waiting lists for people to get out to assess people for whatever reason. And people get very frustrated, that stuff isn't being done. And then they will blame it on the local authority. And of course, because I work for the local authority, you kind of have to take the blame. You have to take the brunt of it, which I'm absolutely fine at doing. But when you're not feeling terribly well, or you're feeling really tired because you're getting over an illness, your patience is kind of not as good as it could be. Let's put it that way.
And it always seems to be as well that when you're sort of coming to the end of your workday, somebody else has come to the end of their workday and they've decided to give you a call and have a random moan about something. So they call you up just at sort of like 5 to 5 and then want to ramble on for like 20 minutes about why something's not working, when actually, that should have happened earlier in the day, because possibly a message could have been passed that same day which might have helped them.
Well, that's exactly what happened to me on Wednesday. I got back here at, I think it was 20 to 6, because I'd been on the phone to a parent for 40 minutes. And then I had to write it up.
And of course, those aren't additional hours that you can claim either. So that additional time...
Well, I can claim that if I wanted to.
Oh, I thought you couldn't.
Yeah, I can. I can take it as time.
Right.
They're very good. They're very good to me.
But in many cases, people
can't.
But
I don't.
I think that's it, yeah. As well as the underfunding by the Conservative Party for 13 years, there's also the extra work that people put in for no money. Which.
But I think if you, but the thing is, I think if you are passionate about your client base,
yeah,
and I am, which, if you don't know, it's learning disabilities. That's the field that I work in. If you're passionate about your client base, you do go the extra mile.
You want to do your best.
You do extra, you know, occasionally. And you don't claim it because you just want to do your best and, you know. But it's not as though I'm doing hours and hours and hours of extra work.
No,
it was only, 40 minutes extra work. So, hey-ho, that's the way it goes. Easy come, easy go. Take the rough with the smooth. Blah, blah, blah. Another cliche or two. Anyway, it's been a strange week in terms of motivation. We've both been feeling quite demotivated. I think
lacking motivation.
I think the situation with the house is kind of starting to erode a little bit of our confidence. We know it's a difficult market, and you kind of, I've certainly had feelings around, selling the house, getting a little bit of money for our next stage in life was kind of part of our big plan. And then you think, oh my God, what if it all goes wrong? What if we don't end up making any money? What if we lose our home? Blah, 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 blah. All these things have cascaded through my head on a number of occasions. And you do have to shake yourself down, because negative thoughts are natural.
Yeah.
It's part of the brain. That's how the brain works. The brain tries to balance itself up. So it goes down all these routes, all the possibilities. And it's unhelpful to shut them off. I go with them. I allow those negative thoughts to happen. But I don't allow them to happen for too long. I give myself, and I've said this before, I give myself 5 or 10 minutes of going, okay, yeah, that could happen. Yeah, that could happen. Acknowledge the thoughts. Acknowledge those really shitty thoughts. They're there, and they're there for a reason, because they also give you a taste of reality. Yes, the reality is things could go tits up. But they probably won't, because you manage a situation. You get help with a situation should you need to. But we're only in August, and this is the month that our mortgage was due to finish. So we've got an extension. The mortgage company is quite happy to do that. We need to go with the flow at the moment. We need to acknowledge that it's not great, but there's nothing we can do to change that. What we can do, and we had a chat about this, is look at maximising what we do here on social media in terms of growing things a little bit.
In a slightly different way.
Because I've been quite lazy, and I freely admit this, in terms of doing videos. I've been putting my energy into other things, into getting stuff around the house sorted. There's still stuff to do. We've still got some fairly big jobs of maintenance that need to be done.
Like annual things, yeah.
But it's time to sort of try and get back on the horse, so to speak, and start pushing forwards and bringing some content in different ways, perhaps. So we're going to be talking about that and what our future plans are for social media, and trying to push forward into doing more for you, and trying to grow our channel. So frankly, when push comes to shove, to earn a little bit more money.
Yeah. And it's not really about subscribers either. I've got a frog in my throat now. It's more about that engagement, because we've got 6,000 subscribers or something like that at the moment, and only like 2,500, 3,000 watch Sunday chat, maybe 1,000 to 1,500 on a good week watch a week at the plot. It's about getting other things going. So yeah.
Yeah, that's our aim. I mean, it always has been our aim to keep growing, but we're not the kind of people who are into doing sensational videos to try and capture people's attention. You know as well as we do, we're not into clickbait stuff. And we're not into trying to pull the wool over people's eyes in fooling them into thinking we're doing something else when we're not. And, you know, we're quite honest in that respect. What you see is what you get.
And I talk about that in A Week at the Plot this week, about being honest in what happens at the plot and, of course, what happens here.
But we would like to grow it a little bit, to just bring in a little bit more money to pay the bills, which are, of course, always seemingly on the increase at the moment.
Which they are for everybody.
You know, and our wages that we earn in our jobs aren't going up
at that rate.
So we do need to think about that. But it takes energy to do that. We've not had that energy available recently, but I think we need to look at creating a little bit more space to talk about those things. And put some plans together.
And I think it's also the creativity side of things, because I know that when I feel in limbo, the creative side of me is very challenged. I can get through the days in doing the things I need to do. It's the additional creative side that really gives me quite a lot of joy.
Well, I think, you know, recently we've had the house to think about. We've had other stuff to think about in terms of me working extra hours.
And then there's also, like with many people, there's elderly parents and, you know, distant relationships, you know, managing that with mum and my brother and things like that. And they sometimes they just feel all-encompassing.
Well, it all takes energy. It all takes brain energy to do. And I think, you know, we get to the point where we feel depleted. You know? We get to the end of the day and we eat and we're just depleted. There's no space for anything else. So, you know, it's been a busy old time. And it continues to be busy, but we're just going to try and maybe just shift things around. We'll see what happens. We'll let you know. We will. Lovely, Paul. Thank you very much. Paul, let me ask you a question. What's been your moment of joy this week?
Oh, my moment of joy. Am I just allowed one? Oh, there's a moment of joy. Cobweb.
Where?
Up there. I can see a cobweb. It is actually a moment of joy about a little spider on another cobweb in the hallway. The one on the door frame in the hallway. There's this little spider there, and it is so sort of content sitting on its little web, looking at what's going on. And I notice it goes during the day, and then it sort of comes back sort of like mid-evening, it appears again.
Yeah, I'm not sure that spider's still there.
Oh, maybe it's gone then. So my moment of joy... Alexa, please stop. My moment of joy is no more.
No, it's not dead.
Oh, right, okay.
No, I wouldn't kill a spider.
Well, no, but have you rehomed him?
No, I was dusting.
Right.
And I saw him go down.
Right.
He went down, woo, all the way. So I think he might be sort of by the radiator cover now.
Yeah, but it's interesting, you know, there are little sort of creatures that you get used to in your house. We've got one on a cactus, a little web on the cactus as well. And I do wonder what other people... I mean, the house is clean, completely clean. And then there's a few cobwebs around and about because we just sort of leave them because they've got a little bit of life in them.
Yeah, I mean, these creatures, we never kill anything.
Well, clothes moths occasionally.
Well, a clothes moth, yes, I'm afraid they do die. Because they are highly destructive, that's why. I mean, look at that Persian rug.
Yeah, but there we are. Anyway, there we are. What was your moment of joy this week, Richard?
God.
Was it coming home and seeing me after a hard day at work?
Well, it's always a joy, Paul, because you always have a cup of tea waiting for me and a slice of fresh cream cake.
I don't think so. We do have a huge coffee cake in the freezer.
In fact, we've got a cake and a half.
I think so.
In the freezer.
Yeah.
Paul was given a cake for his birthday.
Yeah, by one of our plot
neighbours, holders, and she makes delicious cakes. We've had them before.
Yeah.
But it was gifted during our cold, and rather than allow it to...
It was a virus, it wasn't a cold.
Cold virus, flu thing. And rather than allow it to go off, I put it into the freezer in its container, just shoved it in, and yes, we will have to defrost that at some point.
Yes.
I think it'd be nice to make a nice dessert with that.
Coffee and walnut chocolate.
Like
coffee
a
and walnut
tiramisu
cake.
or something.
I think I think a slice with custard would be lovely.
Oh, yes. Anything like that. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Moment of joy, moment of joy. Moment of joy.
You must have had one. Was it the beans?
No.
Was it the fact the beans weren't stringy? Was that a moment of joy? No.
No. I'm struggling to find a moment of joy this week. No, I really am. It's been what I said about those moments of, like, you know, thoughts spiraling out of control. I can't even speak. Spiraling out of control and feeling mildly depressed about things. That's how I felt this week. So I think any moment of joy is not feeling like that. Don't worry, I'm not in a depression. It's moments of feeling really down that you climb out of. And I'm quite good at climbing out of them. You know, we're quite resilient people mentally.
I'm not sure about resilient. I don't really like that word resilient. It sounds as if it's as if it's sort of another pedestal thing, you know. Well, I'm quite resilient. It feels as though you're putting yourself above other people using that word.
Well, I
because many people, resilience is, I don't know. We shouldn't have to be resilient in life, you know. We really shouldn't.
Well, I disagree. I'm sorry, but I disagree. If I gave in to my thought processes, I'll tell you right now, I would take to my bed.
I know, but I don't...
And I would not go to work.
I don't think
and
it's
I
about
would be at my
that
doctor
word.
And I would be saying, I'm depressed, give me some antidepressants. Now, you can choose to go down that route. Yeah?
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying.
You will, if your resilience kicks in, you slap yourself round the face, you shake yourself down, and you say, let's move on, it's time to do shit.
I get what you're saying, but if you're a mother of three, living in a bedsit, you have
I'm not comparing
you've
myself.
not got no income, that person, where does the resilience sit for that person? That's what I mean.
But that's not my life.
I know it's not.
I'm not comparing myself to other people. I'm not doing that. I'm talking about my experience, because that's all we have.
Yeah,
we can only talk about our experiences.
Yeah.
We can't compare ourselves. People are in different situations. For whatever reason, we too could be in that situation.
Yeah, we could.
Quite easily.
Yeah. I know several people who have been much more wealthy than us, who are absolutely lost everything.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But I'm talking about our experience, so you can only talk about your stuff. And I think we are resilient people. I think we shake ourselves down, we get ourselves up off the floor, and we carry on.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying. What I'm saying is...
Despite being unmotivated.
That word resilience, I think, can feel very high and mighty to people who are in a situation where they have no resilience and have no opportunity to be resilient.
But that's my whole point. I'm not comparing.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm resilient. You're not.
I know you're not. I know you're not. Yeah.
So, if I was saying everybody should be resilient, I'm saying we are. I think we are.
Yeah,
I think we're fairly strong people.
Yeah, okay.
Because I've been through depression.
You have.
I've been through years of taking antidepressants.
Mm-hmm.
I went through years of not being able to do anything throughout the day, just being nothing. So I know how that feels, and I am damned if I'll ever be down there again. So I'm making a choice, and I'm making a choice for myself, for us, for our hopes, for our dreams. I'm making a choice. I will never be in the position to say, I'm not going to work today, I feel too depressed. I'm not going to do that.
I think it's not just about that, though. I think we're also being quite strong in where I am at the moment, and we are in where weight, because I've really been making sure that I'm not overeating, and I'm quite pleased about that, and I suppose that is some resilience that I found in the challenging time we're having personally at the moment, which is far less challenging than many other people. But I suppose I'm quite resilient in keeping my eating in check at the moment.
Well, again, you can compare and contrast, but we're not living anybody else's life.
No, we're not.
We're living
we're
our
each
lives.
living our own life.
We're living
Absolutely.
our lives, so that's our frame of reference. That's it, and in that, yes, it is all about helping people along, helping people who are, less fortunate, blah, blah, blah. That's part of also building your own strength.
Yeah.
And feeling as though you are empowered to help other people. Because if you're on the floor, you're not helping anybody and you're not helping yourself. I think it's true. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's true.
But there are some people who are on the floor through no... That's what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about those people.
Yeah. I am.
Yeah. Maybe that's your problem.
No, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem.
Really?
No.
It's not what your therapist would say.
I'm sure it's not.
I'm joking.
I've never been to one.
Let's move
Maybe.
I've said I think you would benefit from therapy.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, possibly I would.
It's a really valuable space to just talk about your shit.
Yeah, I think it's only like 60 quid an hour now.
No,
So,
you can get... There's a therapist that I went to where you pay a small fee.
Yeah.
But you have to get referred and there is a waiting list.
Yeah.
Moment of joy. Did I say what my moment of joy was?
You said just achieving anything in this week was a moment of joy, basically.
Did I?
Yes, that's how I've summarised what you said.
Maybe it was having... Maybe it was... No.
Where are you going?
Well...
So what have we been watching this week? Was there any moment of joy in what we were watching this week?
So, what have we watched on television this week? We watched a short series called Fisk.
Yes, Australian.
Australian on Netflix. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's also available on ITV Hub, ITVX, I think. Yeah. So, and it's quite interesting because I just happened to read a bit about it. And they carry on filming after the scene has finished, after the scripted scene has finished. They carry on filming in case any of the actors want to add anything in, and quite a lot of that has ended up in the final programme, which is quite interesting.
So that's worth a watch.
Definitely.
We also started a series called Jury Duty.
Yes, on
which
Prime.
It's a really interesting concept. And the concept is, it's all about a jury, about the jury selection process, the courtroom, and the case. And everything happens as it would. The only difference is that one of the members of the jury is a real person who does not know that the whole setup is all actors.
It's interesting.
So
it took us a couple of episodes to get into it, and it's quite a dry humour.
but it's a sitcom. Essentially, it's a sitcom.
It is, yeah. There are some laugh out loud moments.
And it's kind of about what is happening around this guy who's just a normal guy and does not know what's happening. It's all about how they interact and his kind of slight disbelief in what's going on.
His disbelief in the process and in how other people can be.
Yeah.
How different other people can be and
So
their different views.
You get into it. That's all I can say. You
Yeah.
get into it.
Yeah.
And it's rather good. So that's good. We watched...
I think it's actually on Freevee, so you can watch it on Freevee even if you don't have Prime, because there are some ads that you watch.
That's Freevee. We watched the movie Dune. This is the new version, which is the first movie. I think there's another movie coming up, isn't there?
Later this year.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Really enjoyed it. Much better than that one in the 80s. I mean, I said to you, didn't I? I've watched that one in the 80s with Sting and two other people, and I never really understood what was going on. And whether it was because I was sort of not actively watching it, passively viewing it, probably at a friend's house, having a video night or something, as you did in the 80s, with a rental.
Yeah.
But I actually understood the story from this movie. So it was like, yeah, I understand what's going on. Yeah, this is good. Really spectacular, fabulous effects, great costumes.
Oh, the costumes
really
are
good.
Incredible.
Really good.
Yeah,
So
and
well
it's
worth a watch.
Timothy Chalamet, isn't it? Who
Timothée.
I don't know
Timothée Chalamet.
from anything else. Sounds like a what's it?
Timothée.
Hair brand.
Timothée was a shampoo.
Yeah. I love Dune. I read the first book. I haven't read any sequels.
Is it because the hero's name is Paul?
Maybe.
Did you,
maybe.
when you were a little baby child, did you think you were going to be like Paul?
Paul Muad'Dib. Yeah, maybe. No. How wrong I was if that was the case.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the original film when it was made, but this one really gets to the crux of the emotions and the different factions within that universe.
Although that witch is a bitch. Really?
Absolutely. And we'll have her comeuppance. So, well worth a watch. That was Prime, as I say.
Yes. We also watched a comedy, a stand-up comedy, Leanne Morgan. I love Leanne Morgan. I think she's genius. I love her homely style, her stories about motherhood and weight loss, and her accent I just adore. I love that. Where's it from? Is it Tennessee?
Yeah, it's Middle America, isn't it?
I love that accent. I can listen to her all day. Love it.
I fell asleep.
Well, yeah, you did.
I fell asleep, but I did enjoy what I watched, and she's an incredibly...
Alexa, stop.
She's an incredibly physical comic as well. even though she doesn't do a lot of movement. So just with a movement of her hands or the twist of her head, she can take you back to moments where you were sort of laughing high dudgeon, 20 minutes before. And that whole thing about her losing weight and it just a sort of slight hand movement over her stomach, and you knew exactly that she was pulling you back into the story that had you laughing, a short while
I love
ago.
her. I've watched a few reels on Instagram and Facebook, and I think she's very talented and I think she's quite inspirational as well. She's done really well, and she's had the support of her family. She talks about her family a lot. Just love her to bits. I think she's great. I want her to adopt me. Although I'm a bit old for that. We're the same age, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, if somebody's a multimillionaire, we'll be adopted. Yeah.
And we've... What time is it? 4 o'clock? 5 o'clock. Time for an afternoon nap. We watched the season finale of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars Season 8. We won't say who the winner is, but it was as expected.
Yeah, and
frankly.
well deserved.
Very well deserved.
Very well deserved, yeah.
So that's it, Paul.
And we've been watching Schitt's Creek and Murder, She Wrote, our usuals. We did watch Father Brown the other day that had a lot of butchering in it, didn't we?
Put me off. I didn't like it.
Yeah, we didn't watch that episode again, no.
So anyway, that's it for this week's show.
Sunday Chat!
Jesus, Mary, Mother of God.
Just thought I'd get another one.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
What will next week bring?
Well,
it'll bring another 7 days.
Well, another 7 days, and it's going to be probably a busy week in terms of work. I think I'm going to be doing a full week. I'm certainly going to offer. I could do with the cash. Yeah, that's it.
There we are.
I'm going to go now and edit this and get it ready for its early Sunday morning release, which some of you are really enjoying because you feel as though you're getting early access.
I think I'm going to go and get some rock and core beans because we're going to have...
Can we have them hot this time?
Yeah, we're going to have courgette fritters with steamed potatoes.
Really? Do we really have to have courgette fritters, Paul? Because I really don't fancy courgette fritters.
Oh, maybe we won't have courgette fritters.
I don't really ever want courgette fritters ever again.
Don't you? I like courgette fritters.
I don't like them, Paul.
He doesn't like them.
No, I don't.
I think we'll have cake and custard
I've said to you, those courgettes need to be sliced lengthways, coated in seasoned flour, and baked in the oven until crisp.
I know, but we're not using the oven.
Well, then use it.
So there we are. There's a cooking video
moussaka
for you to look forward to. That Richard will be doing.
You can use courgettes to make a moussaka.
You can.
If you've never seen my moussaka recipe, it's here.
So yeah, I don't know what we're going to have, so I might go and get rock and core. We'll just have rock and core beans.
Burgers?
Yeah. No, we've had burgers once this week already. Steamed veg, we'll have steamed veg.
Sausages and mash?
No, we don't want I don't want anything processed like that. That's the thing. I don't fancy anything like that.
Well, I don't fancy anything naturally grown.
There we are.
Take care.
Yeah.
Toodle pip. Au revoir.
See you next week.
Willkommen. Take care.
Bye.
Remember to watch all the video. Watch all the adverts.
Bananas.
Go back through our back catalogue and watch everything else.
Bananas.
Bananas. Tits and bums.
Bye.